So about 3 months ago, I was slapped in the face with the sobering reality. I had terrible social skills. And this realization came when I started going to the gym. For those of you who don't know, I spent most of 2022 gymming at home because luckily my dad bought equipment when I was much younger. So we had essentially all that I needed for the first few months of my gym journey. But then that meant I was training alone. So for most days, I wouldn't interact with anyone but my family. So because I wasn't interacting with anyone but my family, my social skills weren't being fine-tuned day in, day out. So then once I got in the gym, I realized that, oh damn, I need to improve my social skills. So probably the first week while I was in the gym, there was this beautiful girl there, and I wanted to talk to her. And I had to convince myself to talk to her. So what I would tell myself is, okay, after this set, I'm going to go. Then after I'd finish the set, I'll be breathing too heavily. Then I'll be like, no, let me calm down. And then once I've calmed down, I'm like, no, it's time for me to do my set. Then I'll go talk to her after the set. And then after about 15 sets, I actually got the courage. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go up. I'm going to talk to her. So what I did, I was walking towards her. I was feeling like Superman. I was feeling invincible. Then as I got like 5 meters away from her, she started talking to someone else. So instead of continuing with my plan, I just started doing pull-ups. And guess what? It was a push day. I started doing pull-ups because I was like, oh damn, this went wrong. And after that moment, I decided that I had to improve my social skills. By force or by fire, they had to be improved. And at that point, I was scared to talk to pretty much anyone in the gym. See, there would be that big guy in the corner wearing a hoodie and he was doing bicep curls. And I would just be like, hey, let me stay away from him. And now 3-4 months down the line, I'm not scared to talk to anyone in the gym. In fact, I'm friends with pretty much everyone in the gym. The conversations that I have with people, they flow so much better. I have no approach anxiety. And maybe that's because I've gained credentials in the gym arena because I've gotten bigger. So if you're in a place like the gym and you get bigger, you're naturally going to have more confidence in the gym. But the point is I improved my social skills. And I'm about to tell you how I did this for myself. But before I do that, you have to just like, comment, and subscribe. So step 0 is you have to acknowledge that you have this problem. You will not be able to fix any problem in life if you don't acknowledge that you have that problem. But since you're watching this video, you probably have acknowledged that you have this problem. So step 0 isn't really a problem for you. Step 1 is buy How to Win Friends and Influence Other People. Read a chapter every single day and implement what you've learned in that chapter. If you want to learn social skills from like a book, that is the only book that you're going to need because I promise you it has everything that you will need. So what I used to do is I'll just read a chapter of How to Win Friends and Influence People. Most chapters will take you about 10 to 15 minutes to read. So I'd read it just before I went to the gym and I'd keep it in mind when I went to the gym. So when I went to the gym, I kept everything that I had read in mind. So I'd be doing flat dumbbell bunch.
TJ!
So I'd be doing incline dumbbell bench press thinking, when I see the next person, compliment them. This compliment has to be genuine and something like that. I know it's a very weird way of doing things, but weird ways always yield results. So the key here is reading How to Win Friends and Influence Other People and learning and implementing those things. Because once you implement them enough times, it will just become part of your character. So step 2 is to set daily goals and execute on set goals. So what I did, I have this app called Habitshare. So in Habitshare, I have this goal for every single day to compliment 3 people. So every day, I had this goal in my mind, talk to a new person, and compliment 3 people. And I didn't make this like ironclad rule, but one of the rules was I can't compliment the same 3 people like 2 days in a row. So I had to find different people to compliment. And because I had to find different people to compliment, it forced me to speak to different people. Complimenting people in the gym isn't really hard. You know, you just go up to a guy and be like, oh, you're looking big. And they'll be like, oh, thanks. And you've already made a friend. I don't know why. Guys are so simple. You go up to a gym rat and you're like, oh, you're looking big. And best believe you've made a friend for life. And it's important that, especially with the goal of complimenting 3 people a day, which is something I recommend you do because you'll just be a more likable person. Is don't try manufacture a compliment like saying, I'm going to say that I like the way your hair's tilted 45 degrees. No. Whatever comes to your mind, whatever feels natural, the first thing that you notice, compliment them on that. As long as it's a positive thing. If the first thing you notice is something negative, then don't say it. Or compliment them on that positive thing, like the very first thing that you notice and feels natural to say. And this idea of doing what feels natural goes with everything else to do with social skills. Most of the time we complicate things by trying to manufacture the best thing to say when our brains are capable. Like our brains can make flipping robots, Teslas, or whatever. Like our brains can make all these machines around us. So do you think that your brain can't come up with a good thing to say next? That's stupid. So in your brain can generate a good thing to say. So trust your brain. Say what you feel is natural. As long, like, obviously you have to have a filter. You can't just be talking to someone and randomly mention some dictator that killed 2,000 people. Like, no, calm down. Now, step 3. It won't directly increase your social skills, but it will help a lot, and that is meditation or any meditative practice. I hope that's the word. So when you do meditation, prayer, all these practices, right, you are learning to take your attention away from your thoughts, from the future, from the past, and bring it towards the present moment. So the more you do these habits such as meditation, prayer, you learn to focus on the present moment. You learn to be present. And the reason why this helps with your social skills is because it's when you are present that you can actually reply properly. It's when you are present that you actually listen to what the other person's saying. Presence is the most important thing to have good social skills. Because I don't know if you've ever been in a conversation where someone is talking to you and you're not paying attention and you just reply. They'll be telling you like their life story or something and you're like, no, just saying random replies, but you won't really be present. The best conversations happen when both people are present. To be honest, you can't really control whether the other person's present, but you can control when you're present. So the key is to build up your skill to remain present. And as you remain present, you have better conversations because someone will say something and since you're present, your brain will be like, yeah, this is the right thing to say and it'll feel natural. Now step 4, and I would say that this is the most pivotal step, is visualizations. And you're like, I'll do visualizations, I'll build my social skills. That's what I thought at first. And honestly, I was surprised. So in Notion, I have this Notion like template. And in that template, there's a list of all the visualizations I do. So a few months ago, I put a social flow state visualization. So it described how I would greet the gods while I was walking outside, then what I would do when I would enter the gym. So I just visualize this every single morning. And because I was visualizing myself being social, being charismatic, I naturally became more of that. You see, people think that visualizations, they're wishy-washy and they don't work. But there have been studies that have proven that visualizations are just as effective as physical practice. Like actually doing the thing. So I can't tell you what to visualize. All I can say is that when you're visualizing, you should visualize your ideal goal. So let's say you're a comedian. What you'd visualize is making other people laugh. You'd visualize the audience laughing or whatever. If you just want to have a good conversation with someone, you just visualize them smiling. You'd visualize them like enthusiastically adding something to make the conversation flow. Like you would visualize an indicator of success, if that makes sense. You see, the funny thing about the visualization that I made about 4 months ago, like that was my dream scenario. It's what happens every single day. Literally every single day now when I walk in the gym, it's like I'm going through that visualization and I'm doing it unconsciously. It's just become part of who I am. And those are all the tips that I have for you. But just like any other skill, the most important thing is to practice. Practice and refinement will always lead to mastery. So all you need to do is practice. You may not even have your visualization. You may not even have like your dream outcome. But I promise you, the more social situations you put yourself in, right? You realize that this wasn't good. You realize that that was good. So as you keep on going, you refine your social skills. And over time, you'll develop amazing social skills. And that's what we all want.